Listen, our aviation industry is so very important to the American economy. And of course, we want to make sure that consumers, that flyers are safe and that our airlines operate in an efficient manner. So this comes up every 5 years. I'm on the Commerce Committee. We've been working on this bill for more than a year. I have been especially focused on the issue of bolstering our workforce pipeline. We have a shortage of pilots, aviation mechanics, other people who work in the industry, and we are barely pulling from all of our human talent. So I have provisions in the bill that address that along with other things. And I remain very hopeful that we'll get all of this over the finish line before the deadline come Friday.
Okay, so Senator, in your mind, there is not a chance that a short-term authorization may need to happen, considering this doesn't just need to make it through your chamber, but the House as well.
Listen, we are in the midst of the sausage making that happens in Congress, but I think there is a commitment, a large consensus that we need to try to get this over the finish line, and I remain hopeful that we will.
Well, Senator, there is some disagreement even between you and some of your other Democratic colleagues around certain provisions, including more flights out of DCA, the airport just down the road from where you and I are. It's staunchly opposed by senators in neighboring states. Senator Warner, Kate, Van Hollen, Cardin, to name a few, are all opposed to this. I know you're for it. What do you say to those, though, who suggest that adding slots at Reagan could potentially lead to further delays or even safety risks?
Well, I have great respect and really affection for my colleagues in Maryland and Virginia, but they are wrong on this issue, to put it bluntly. They're just wrong. This will not compromise safety in any way. We have addressed this issue with the FAA. Basically, we want to make sure that flyers throughout our country have access to the nation's capital. This is the seat of government. And basically, this is a modest proposal that will add about 1% to DCA's daily operations. I think that my colleagues respectfully have certain interests that they're trying to protect. Their safety issue simply does not hold water. And I'm hopeful that at the end of the day, we'll be able to have some more flights. Really, it's just a handful more flights coming in and out of the airport that serves the nation's capital. And certainly people west of the Mississippi should have access, as well as folks on this side who go back and forth every single day.
Well, Senator, in addition to serving on the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee, you also serve on a few other key committees, including the Senate Banking Committee. And I'd like to lean on that expertise you have for a moment, if you will. We got a report out yesterday, an independent third-party probe into a toxic workplace culture at the FDIC. There are some Republicans who are now calling for the resignation of the FDIC chair, Marty Gruenberg. Do you think he should resign?
Well, let me say that I am still reviewing the report. What I am seeing there, some of the things that I see there are concerning, even disturbing. But we will hear from the chairman in just a few days. He will appear before my committee, and we'll get a chance to hear from him directly, and we'll see where we go from there. But let me just be very clear. Let me be clear that an abusive and toxic workplace environment where people feel that they are being abused in some way that is hostile to the work environment is intolerable. And one way or the other, it will have to be addressed, and we will make sure that happens.
Well, and Senator, we'll look forward to that testimony before the Banking Committee in just a few days. There, of course, is a lot still happening that is getting attention outside of Washington, including Israel, where there have been moves into Rafah, the Gaza city, in which more than a million Palestinians are taking refuge. And we have now gotten confirmation from the Defense Department, from the Secretary Lloyd Austin, that the U.S. has withheld, paused for now, a shipment of bombs to Israel over concern about how they may be used in Rafah. Is this appropriate for the administration to be doing at this time, sir?
I'm very concerned about what's going on in Gaza. And I'm already on the record. I said many weeks ago that I'm very concerned about any incursion into Rafah. I pray for a day where Israeli mothers and fathers and Palestinian mothers and fathers can do what all of us parents want. I have 2 young children myself. Put your children to bed at night in peace and awaken to a world that embraces all of them. And so we intend to make sure that we keep an eye on this situation, but we need a ceasefire in this situation. Israel has a right to defend itself. I am deeply offended and hurt by what happened on October 7th, where we saw this attack, where we saw rape and sexual assault used as a weapon of war. But I'm also very concerned about over 30,000 Palestinian lives that have been lost in this conflict, the majority of them being women and children. So I'm hopeful that at the end of the day, we will recognize that the answer to death and destruction is not more death and destruction.